At a Joplin apartment complex.
Plus, we've got falling temperatures thanks to rainfall across the area. We're going to talk how cool it is and if there's a warm-up coming up.
And the legal battle between the DOJ and former President Trump's legal team continues, with the latest round going to the feds.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The first day of fall starts with cooler temps and strong winds that fan the flames at an early morning apartment fire in Joplin. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, a fire investigation is underway in Joplin after an apartment at 9th and Connecticut goes up in flames in the early morning hours. KOAM's Shannon Becker was at the scene. He joins us now with the latest.
It was just after 5:30. Call for fire to 921 East 9th Street, an apartment building housing 4 units. Joplin Fire arrived minutes later as flames were already through the roof. Chief Gerald Elzel, the Joplin Fire Department, told us all occupants were out of the structure. It took about an hour and a half to get the fire under control as the wind fanning the flames made that battle more difficult. We're told by neighbors there was an unknown number of pets that did perish in the fast-spreading fire. No vehicles parked in front of the building burned, but a motorcycle at the rear of the building was destroyed. Joplin Fire Marshal was on scene shortly after 7 a.m. for investigation. Details on the cause of the fire, it's unknown at this time. We'll continue to follow this breaking news story. In Joplin on East 9th Street, I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News Now.
Thanks, Shannon. The Red Cross has responded to assist those families displaced. Well, at least the firefighters didn't have to deal with added heat from Mother Nature today. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
You have got to see this particular map. So this morning we were showing it, how cool we are or how colder, what the temperature change is basically from 24 hours ago to now. Look at it now. We are upwards of 40 degrees cooler right now than we were 24 hours ago. We're talking one powerful cold front that swept through the area, brought us some rain, and brought us temperatures that are on the downfall. But is that going to last? Well, we're going to talk about that. We still have some shower activity across the area, a little more shower activity out to our north and west, and that's just kind of how it's going to be for the rest of the day. We've got the main batch through, and we've got scattered shower chances and maybe even thunderstorm chances. Additionally, the drought tracker's been updated, and it is, as I was concerned, we've got now the highest level here. This is exceptional for a good chunk of southeast Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma, and extreme drought conditions have expanded across the area because we've been so hot, we've been so dry, we've been unseasonably warm the last couple of weeks. We are not seeing an improvement in the situation. It is only getting worse. Now, right now, temperatures, look at this. We were expected to push a high of about 66, and we are struggling to get out of the 50s. We have been dropping through the day, and we are not likely to hit an afternoon high of 66. What we were this morning, probably as warm as it's going to get. Future track shows additional rain chances through the area, especially as we head into tomorrow. They are still scattered storm and shower chances, but they are there. As we head into Saturday, not too bad. Going through the rest of the afternoon, we were expected to hit that high of 66. That may have come and gone as we start to drop back through the 50s. We'll have more on the forecast, including a warm-up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. Topping Nation Watch, a big win for the Department of Justice. A 3-judge panel on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the U.S. government in its criminal probe of former President Donald Trump's handling of government records. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
The Department of Justice has won the latest round in the legal battle over documents with classified markings recovered from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. A 3-judge appellate court panel with 2 Trump appointees ruled that the FBI does not need to turn over documents with classified markings to the special master for his review, and that FBI agents can regain access to those documents as part of the criminal probe into the handling of government records. The appellate court ruling also states that Trump suggests that he may have declassified these documents when he was president, but the record contains no evidence that any of these records were declassified. Trump told Fox News Wednesday there was no process to declassify the material.
If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it.
The judges wrote that the declassification argument is a red herring because declassifying an official document would not change its content or render it personal. The appellate court ruling came after New York's Attorney General filed a new civil lawsuit against the former president and 3 of his adult children. The 222-page civil lawsuit alleges Trump and his family defrauded insurers and lenders, violating state and potentially federal laws.
Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and to cheat the system, thereby cheating all of us.
The state is seeking to recover $250 million in allegedly unlawful profits and a life ban on Trump and his children serving as officers in any New York company. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump legal team can appeal the 3-judge panel's ruling to either the full 11th Circuit Court of Appeals or even to the Supreme Court. Well, President Biden used his address to the United Nations on Wednesday to denounce Russia and President Vladimir Putin's, quote, brutal, needless war on Ukraine. CBS's Bradley Blackburn is at the UN in New York, where the General Assembly continues its annual meeting today.
As he addressed the United Nations, President Biden condemned Russia's 7-month-old war and called on the world to stand in solidarity with Ukraine.
Russia has shamelessly violated the core tenets of the United Nations Charter. No more important than the clear prohibition against countries taking the territory of their neighbor by force.
The president also denounced Russian President Vladimir Putin's newly announced order of a partial mobilization of hundreds of thousands of reservists. That news set off protests across Russia, with hundreds arrested and sparked an exodus of people taking one-way flights out of the country. This is a time-lapse graphic of flights departing Russia on FlightRadar24.com that went viral. President Biden also called out Putin's new threat to use nuclear weapons and criticized Russia for scheduling sham referenda this week in territories it has forcibly seized in Ukraine.
This world should see these outrageous acts for what they are.
Here at the UN, President Biden pledged nearly $3 billion in additional aid for global food security in response to shortages that have been worsened by the war.
A crime has been committed against Ukraine, and we demand just punishment.
In a pre-recorded video, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky told UN delegates that his forces would press on until they have reclaimed all of Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Zelensky also said a special tribunal should be created to investigate and punish Russia. He also suggested the UN should strip Russia of its veto power on the UN Security Council. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, apple and pumpkin picking season gets underway on the first official day of fall. And later we're making spinach and cheese stromboli in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, it's perfect timing for this cooler weather as fall officially starts this evening. But up north in Wisconsin, this year's weather guaranteed a good harvest for both apple orchards and pumpkin patches. Armin Rahman takes us to Madison for the story.
Whether you're after the usual species or branching out to the blue pear Maine,
we grow about 90 different varieties of apples.
The weather's been ripe for the pickin' at Door Creek Apple Orchard in Cottage Grove.
It's been a great year for apples, which is nice to say because it has not been a great year for apples for most of the past few years.
This year the trees made it through a spring and summer without any big extremes.
And we've managed to dodge most of the hail events this year. We had a little bit in June that we had a tiny bit of damage from, but then another one missed us just yesterday.
But owner and manager Liz Griffith says those ideal apple conditions, a cold, snowy winter, long, cool spring with weekly rain, and milder summer,
it would be a quote-unquote normal Wisconsin year,
are becoming rare.
There's no ideal Wisconsin year of weather anymore. The weather has just gotten more challenging. So with climate change, you know, things are just becoming so much more unpredictable.
So she was grateful for a good start to the season on Labor Day for people to stock up on their fall favorites.
Cortland behind me is one of them, and Honeycrisp still popular.
Meanwhile,
I'm choosing up the perfect pumpkin.
Pumpkins over at the Calshire Pumpkin Patch have also found the weather pretty close to perfect.
Been a pretty good crop. The rains here lately have made a difference on us. Pumpkins like it dry in August, September, and we've had a lot of rain here in the last few weeks. But all in all, it's a very good crop, and we're happy with it.
And over time, more people gourd big or go home.
20 years ago, we just had pumpkins, small pumpkins, medium, big pumpkins. The last 5 to 8 years now, we've gone more into the colorful stuff, squashes and stuff like that people like to decorate with.
In Dane County, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, the picking season is in full swing in Wisconsin. Most pumpkin patches here in the 4 states open for business October 1st. And we are putting a list together on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Just click on the events page and search for pumpkin patches. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Before we get going today, what do you say we start off with a bit of trivia? Let's see if you can get this one right. The question is, it's coming up next.
But first, Chris Warner returns with your complete forecast.
We have got some rain across the area, which is something we absolutely need. We've also got falling temperatures for the first day of fall. Now, fall, of course, officially gets underway at around 8:04 this evening. But today is technically the first day of fall, making tomorrow the first full day of fall. But you know what? We might as well take today because tomorrow is a totally different story. All right, rain across the area, becoming a lot more scattered now. It's starting to break up, getting a lot more scattered shower activity. More scattered shower activity off to our north and west. Won't likely make it here, but we have additional scattered shower and thunderstorm chances over the next couple of days. Drought tracker updated today. This is exceptional drought in this dark red, and that is the highest it goes. We have seen the drought situation intensify to its worst across southeast Kansas, parts of northeast Oklahoma, and we've seen the extreme drought expand yet again for parts of the area. That's why we need so much more rain, and we're just not getting enough. We are getting rain now in Joplin, 57 degrees with that rain coming down, which is something we all are enjoying. And take a look at these temperatures. We're still sitting in the 50s. 56 Iola, 58 Chanute, 57 Pittsburgh, 58 in Neosho, 63 though down in Anderson. And compared to 24 hours ago, we showed this earlier, but if you weren't with us right at the top of the show, look at this. We're upwards of 40 degrees cooler today than we were 24 hours ago at this same time, which is just absolutely insane. That's how powerful this cold front is. But it's not going to last, and that's the other insane side of this whole thing. 7.1 out of 12 for allergy on the pollen count today, 7.0 out of 12 for tomorrow. Believe it or not, we're still expected. I just checked because I was wondering about this. We're still expected to warm up a bit before we'll cool down as we head into the evening with the shower chances. A brief break in shower chances. They'll resume tomorrow morning, and then we'll hit a low of 55 before we gradually start to warm up as we head towards sunrise, and that is because it's going to heat right back up and quickly. Record-breaking day possible Saturday, 96, some scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy, sunny on Sunday, 85 degrees. The future track shows where we get those stray chances of showers tomorrow and into Saturday, and then we clear out and dry out again, and it starts to warm up, which you can now see on the 7-day forecast. Take a look. So 66 is the actual high for today, and then 88 tomorrow. 88 degrees tomorrow, and then 96 Friday, 85 Sunday, and then we stay in the 80s as we head into the start of next week. Overnight lows drop back down into the 50s, believe it or not. And even on the long-range forecast, look, we start to warm right back up. It's a very big roller coaster ride here in the next 24 to 48 hours across the 4 states. We're 40 degrees cooler today than we were yesterday, and in 48 hours, we're going to be 40 degrees warmer than where we are right now. And it's just kind of a wild ride with, again, some additional rain chances, which is helpful, because as you can see on the long range, we clear out and we stay dry and warm to near hot with 90-degree temperatures by the end of next week.
At least we're getting some cooler temperatures, and the chances for rain, I'm enjoying this too.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of that before we dry out, and at least when the temperatures warm up next week, they're not as hot as they have been the last several days.
All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Purple Heart recipient Wallace Lance in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Lamar, Missouri, fought in the Pacific Theater during World War II. He was killed in action in the Philippines on May 16, 1945, during a firefight. To Private First Class Wallace Lance, we thank you, our 4-state hero. Today we've got a classic Italian recipe that'll take you less than 15 minutes to make. Howard shows us how to make spinach and cheese stromboli in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Before we get going today, what do you say we start off with a bit of trivia? Let's see if you can get this one right. The question is, what is stromboli? Is it A, an island off the coast of Italy, B, rolled up pizza dough that's stuffed and baked, C, the name of a volcano, or D, all of the above? If you guess D, all of the above, you're right. But since we only have 90 seconds and we aren't a geography or history show, I say we focus on B, the rolled up pizza dough that's stuffed with all sorts of goodness. To make this Italian favorite, all we do is combine some ricotta and mozzarella cheese, a bit of oregano, and a little salt. Once that's mixed, we add some chopped spinach that we sauteed with lots of minced garlic, and we let that cool. This mixture gets spread onto refrigerated pizza dough that we've unrolled and cut into quarters. Now, we roll this up and place it on a baking sheet, seam side down. Once it's baked and the crust is golden, it's ready to serve. And don't forget to warm up some spaghetti sauce for Dunkin' or to spoon over it. To get the recipe for our spinach and cheese stromboli, just visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an unquestionably tasty way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I love stromboli. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
Take a look at this one more time. We are upwards of 40 degrees cooler right now than we were 24 hours ago. And the crazy part is, in 48 hours, we'll be 40 degrees warmer. So we had 66 scattered showers today, 88 tomorrow, 96, a possible record-breaking day Saturday with scattered showers. Then temperatures calm down a bit with partly cloudy skies starting next week.
It's nuts.
I love it.
It's a wild ride.
What time is the first fall start?
About 8:04 tonight.
All right.
So
well,
our
we're getting
first
ready for
full
bed.
day of fall is going to be 88 degrees.
That's crazy. All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, the latest study shows COVID-19 infections increase the risk of long-term brain problems. We're going to have that story for you in Health Watch. Plus, the Missouri Veterans Commission launches a new campaign to identify and help military members during mental health crises. And Crowder construction students get hands-on experience with Habitat for Humanity. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.